What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 253. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we seem to can't get the fuck away from chainsaws without them.
This week was a goddamn massacre.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I was watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new one on Netflix, from the comfort of at home in my bunker.
Yeah.
We're bunkered up over here.
As
Undisclosed
you
location,
do.
Bruce Campbell's backyard. Anyway.
Well,
so, yeah.
It was a movie.
Man, they fucked these people up in this movie, though.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
When he hit that dude's leg with that hammer and it went backwards like that, I was like, ooh.
Or, dude, the part that fucked me up was when he grabs that dude's fucking forearm and snaps it and then starts shanking him with the broken bone. I was like, God damn, that's new.
Yeah, right. I mean, so this is a legacy sequel, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I don't know, dude. I guess I feel spoiled because like Halloween was great, right?
Yeah.
Candyman was great. This just didn't.
Well, it felt unnecessary.
Oh, it was over the top.
The whole I've been waiting for 40 years to get you.
Yeah.
That whole thing was kind of like.
Well, dude, they just breezed over that.
Yeah,
they
they
introduced her as a character, and then whenever she gets there, I'm like, oh, there's only like 15 minutes of the movie left.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so she's gonna die fast. That's what I was thinking.
Now, I would like to, case in point, we've seen quite a few of these. I think we have an entire month's worth of episodes where we delved into the world of Texas Chainsaw, and it's interesting how little things that make the franchise what it is, when those aren't there, how different it is. And it's not to say it was a bad way. Case in point too, if the victims weren't what they were, this movie would have sucked.
Yeah, it was not
harder than
it fucked up.
Yeah.
Watching the level of woke just get cut the fuck down in rapid succession was fucking satisfying.
When that motherfucker said, "Be careful, buddy, you'll get canceled." He had his phone in his hand, and he went,
he didn't give a fuck.
Right up the middle of him.
Now, it's another generation of youth though. So I mean, it stays true in that, when you go look at the different iterations of like the Group movie where like, the team breaks down in the fucking middle of nowhere, they end up at the wrong fucking house.
Yeah.
And shit goes sideways. It held true to that. But to me, one of the things that it's always a hallmark of these movies is the good old dinner scene where the madness is just on full display.
Yeah.
And we didn't get that, and that was a little weird. But it was, now to my knowledge, the deeper fandom of Texas Chainsaw, like those, like this is their horror film. I heard it's pretty much in the can for them. Like they don't really want anything to do with it.
Yeah, and I mean,
I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely, because like this movie suffered, in my opinion, more so for like the writing was all off. They could have kept a lot of the things the same, but if they would have just done it in a different way, I think it would have hit the mark more. Because like there was no explanation as to like Leatherface and everything that had been going on since that time frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, obviously that's not the Leatherface, right? Because if she's been hunting Leatherface for 50 years, that would put her, if she was 18 or 19 in the first movie, around the age of what, 70, 68, 69, 70.
Yeah.
You got to think that the original Leatherface was at least bare minimum in his mid 30s,
Yeah.
which would put him at almost 90 years old,
Yeah.
right?
It wouldn't.
So I'm sitting here thinking, like, okay, how could they do this in a better way? Okay. Have the family still be there.
Mhm.
Have the old man, the old man from the original, have him be the original Leatherface. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is
a
just
family
a
thing.
continue. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. The Sawyer family was like a very important part of that first movie, and how fucked up everybody in association with everybody in that family was so fucked up.
Well, see, the contractor, he was in the perfect role that was normally going to be the one that's like, he's the one that's going to betray him
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, I've been in it all along. Like, I was
Yeah.
I was
Like he was
literally
gonna be the
sitting there waiting.
McConaughey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was waiting on a situation to occur in the movie where they got to get away. They come running to him, and he's like, "Yeah, let's get in the car," and they go right back to the fucking house. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. He
And
kind of
like,
died pretty quick too. Like,
yeah,
man.
for real.
oh yeah.
And
And
then,
what was and the premise of this movie? The premise of these people being there was kind of fucking
We're
dumb.
gonna turn it into a new like Houston or
Soda,
Yeah.
so pie, like
Yeah.
whatever that
Yeah.
South Park fucking joke was.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, that's one thing. Like, they gave the explanation for the chick in the original. Like, that explanation was so they completely breezed over it.
yeah.
Like, she escaped. She decided to become a fucking marshal and to hunt down people that they don't even think exists.
Like not
Like,
even a minute of dialogue like was used to catch you up to speed
Well,
with her,
her
so that
acting
like I
was
didn't feel it.
exquisite.
Like I didn't. Oh, dude, and like the fact that she got lifted up with a chainsaw in her gut, that probably would have severed her spinal cord,
And they
and
still shot him.
Yeah.
yeah,
wasn't
Yeah.
dead
or
That
how,
ain't
immediately.
happening.
or how about when they or that did y'all catch it or feel it like you were like well, what's the best way to put it? When they were struggling in the sewer and she gets out and she's crawling and the way he just shoots up out of the fucking water
Yeah.
was really off-putting for me. I was like, that spring was a little too loaded there, guys. Like,
Yeah.
Well, dude,
I
right
mean,
before they started fucking on him, he threw the chainsaw and it cut the back of that girl's foot. And then
Yeah,
she
yeah.
couldn't walk
cool.
after that. She was like laying there crawling, and then she fucking just got up and started walking.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I was like,
right.
wait
oh
a
yeah,
minute.
those sisters had a healing factor on
Yeah.
par with
Well,
Wolverine,
he hit
dude.
her with that
Yeah.
chainsaw like a Mario Kart turtle shell, dude. He just fucking chunked
Yeah.
that thing across the floor.
Just whipped that
Dude,
bitch.
his
Yeah.
fucking chainsaw work was off the charts, though, wasn't it? Like he was throwing
It
it. And
was.
when he hit
Yeah.
that chick with that hammer
Yeah.
from the top of the steps, beat that dude's head in with it.
Yeah.
The gore
Yeah.
was there, dude. It was gory as
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh,
If you just want to watch
best
some people get fucked up, he made short change of that bus
of
in
this.
like 2 minutes,
Oh, dude, that was crazy.
and loved
And
every minute of it.
yeah, and the probably the best shot scene in this whole movie that I'm gonna throw as a contender for best scene is right up there at the beginning, man, where the woman's had the car accident, the mother's died, and he takes her out. You know, she
He's
wakes
cutting her
up. That's
face
how I think
off.
that if I remember, yeah, she
Yeah,
wakes up and he's sitting there, and you're seeing it through. I don't know, rear view mirrors creep
yeah,
me out.
that was cool. And it was like, oh,
And
he's sawing
and
her face off.
well, yeah, and she grabs the CB radio, and you just hear her whisper like, "He's wearing her face," like she's traumatized. You know, like as anyone rightfully should fucking be.
Yeah.
But that was a well executed shot and sequence there. And then
Yeah.
of course, like, you know, he gets the fucking face and he's like, all right, time to go fuck with these two
Yeah,
assholes
and
that are
for
still
some
in the
reason it
car.
just stuck to his head.
Yeah.
Guess it was
No
all the blood and
crap.
guts. I don't know. I mean,
Some of that
Yeah.
gorilla blood
Yeah.
instead of gorilla glue.
I mean,
You know, I could absolutely tell why this was a Netflix movie.
yeah,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Tried and true.
Belongs on Netflix.
And I think it's just because there's so much that there's enough that they did get right that's part and parcel for this franchise, but the stuff that were different was just kind of,
Well,
you know.
to me, if it would have been called Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Blood or fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre Awakens or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
If they would have gave it a fucking subtitle like that.
And give us a little more, like they could have, one of those people could have like had a podcast.
Yeah,
and
right.
been like, you know,
yeah.
kind of like old Mary Fuck Kill. This is
Yeah.
the town where this. Just give us an explanation of what happened.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
all
and
the
that-
other
that's
movies, they're not part of it.
yeah,
There's the first one,
exactly.
and then this. It's like, well,
Yeah.
all right, he's not 70. He's not the original Leatherface. Now,
Yeah.
probably a family member because he was going back to the fucking house. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, when everybody
So,
got
and-
wiped out there, did he just end up in, you know, the home?
In foster
yeah.
care.
I mean,
yeah.
Give us
I
something.
mean, well, yeah, and you know, there were a lot of things that were missing, like, and I mean, it's not that these things had to happen. It's just that we're, you know, Texas Chainsaw is kind of the underdog in the big, you know, the larger, you know, pantheon of iconic horror villains or slasher killers, you know?
It seems
Yeah.
like he always gets shit on the most, though.
Yeah.
In
But-
reality, he is the most brutal of them all.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
And-
grizzly level brutal.
And
If we're gonna in terms of physicality, Jason and Michael are just gonna kill you quickly. Michael might stab
yeah,
you
but
one
you
or two
can
more
run from him.
times.
This motherfucker runs.
Yeah, he runs and then he'll impale you with a chainsaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and so like I don't know. It's weird because there's part of me that liked it, but part of me that didn't like. That was kind of like, man,
I
come
like
on
seeing
now.
these people get fucked up.
Yeah.
Just a different way. This
It
is this
goes off the-
director's second movie.
And you know, it was good enough that I would be willing to give a sequel by this team. I would watch it. And I want to say when I deep dive for a second, they're ready to hit the ground rolling with a sequel if Netflix just gives them the green light. They're like, we're down to do it.
And you know, they
So
might
they
explain
clearly-
more.
Well, they clearly
by
have
having another one. Like,
more ideas and stuff. But it
Dude.
begs the question that I've been chewing on for like since I watched it, man. Do you think this franchise has become, or just the slasher genre as a whole, has it become too self-aware?
No, I don't think so. I think that like okay, I feel like in my personal opinion that it's hard for cuz there was so many slasher movies that's been done in every
Yeah.
single way that could be imaginable.
Well, it's a simple concept.
and they're cheap to make.
Exactly. Yeah.
Very cheap.
And to me it's just like I don't think it's that. I just think the fact that like how do you reinvent the wheel? And the fact is you don't have to reinvent the wheel with it. All you have to
Yeah.
do is like give us, especially in a legacy sequel, right? Give us enough fan service. Like here's what, and this is what I was saying a minute ago. If they would have called it fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre fucking New Blood or whatever. And then if they would have taken out the storyline of the original chick from the first one and just released it as is without her plot points in it and just have the person that shows up at the end not be the chick from the original
Yeah.
and be the dude from the gas
That's
station
what I was thinking. He shows up.
and leave it the same exact movie, it would have been a fine, great Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Well,
film.
like they introduced her as a character, and then they gave her like less than 10 minutes.
yeah.
Well, and
And
to
it's
add
like-
to your fan service comment, you know, that's something, I guess that is something that, I guess I couldn't articulate it. It was that, you know, he's the one horror icon that in his stories, he hasn't been made into this he hasn't had the supernatural brought into his story yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like Halloween, there's a bit of,
Yeah.
the curse of Michael Myers. Jason,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at in the timeline, fucking Freddy Krueger
Yeah.
is a goddamn supernatural entity. And I guess that because of what clearly seems to be a universal agreement is that Leatherface is never going to have something hokey thrown at him like that, which, you know, will limit the options of what you can do with the character.
Well, and
But
yeah, but there's to me with Leatherface being part of this family unit that's all into this fucked up shit. There's so many different ways to explore that. There's so many different ways to explore that Rob Zombie built a
Yeah.
franchise off of it. You see what I
That's
mean?
what it reminds me
absolutely.
of. Like the whole dinner scene in that movie.
Yeah,
A
and I
fucked up
guess
family.
I guess that's a good way to put it. Like everything that Rob Zombie expanded on, they didn't touch that at all. And I don't mean as in like they literally continued Zombie's storyline, but they didn't have the most over the top part was literally just Leatherface's kills.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I
When
don't
I mean,
know.
you could, and here's something too. What was the time frame? When was this movie taking place? Because that wasn't a fucking Tesla.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
it was
That's
it was
and that's
supposed to
another
be like
question.
one though. I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it was like,
it was like a knockoff Tesla.
it was
A
like,
Nesla.
well, it's like a Tesla, like maybe 3 or 4 models that haven't come out yet.
Yeah.
I kept looking at it because when I saw the size of the screen, it had the auto drive. I was like, of course they're in a Tesla, you know.
And I know
Yeah.
that's a detail that doesn't really matter, but it kind of does because they're in Harlow, they're in this really old, like, decrepit town, a ghost town. It's fucking, but they come rolling in like this futuristic fucking car, like, we're gonna come out, we're gonna get away from the city. We're not gonna explain why.
Yeah,
We're just gonna be vague and just be like,
7 hour drive.
We're city folk that want to get away from it all, you know?
They're like, this is
Yeah.
where my restaurant's gonna be. I'm gonna do the art gallery over here, and well, they
Yeah,
want to
right.
talk about getting away from crime and
Well, they want to turn it
oh,
into the same fucking place they're leaving, which is, I guess, maybe part of the irony in that whole little
Yeah.
part.
yeah, it's like candy
Yeah.
spread.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I mean,
I wasn't. I was not. I was. It caught me off guard when they grabbed the sister. When he grabbed the
whoa,
sister at
dude,
the end and yanked her out.
they sat in the
Because
car. She presses autopilot. She's like, you know what, baby, I wouldn't mind living here. And then he just jerked her out, and she don't stop the car. You know, she just crawls out the window and watches him cut that motherfucker's head off, dude. He just
yeah.
holds it up and shakes it at her.
like, now
It was
don't
like,
come back.
I
You
thought it
know?
was a dream. I was like, oh, this is a dream or something, like, right? She gonna wake up in the
Yeah, like
hospital?
I almost thought the same too. I thought she was gonna wake up
Yeah, I
and
was
they're
like,
like at home and
did I miss something? I had to rewind it. I was like, did I just miss something? Like, no, that's how it ended.
Yeah.
And then you just see him walk into the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
and like for instance, one thing that once a classic, and I guess that's part of would be under the fan service section, and it's like classic shots that get recreated throughout the franchise, and one of them is Leatherface dragging you into that fucking room and slamming that fucking door.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
usually the first kill gets that treatment.
Yeah.
There was one
Um,
scene in this movie, dude, where he's standing outside, and it's after the big battle's happening. He's fucked everybody on the bus up, and like someone like shoots a gun or does something. He's standing in the middle of the street, y'all, and he does this like head twitch.
Yeah.
Y'all remember where he double takes? And I was just like, why
Yeah.
did he just
yeah.
do that? Like, what was that? That was
Yeah.
like the guy playing him. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
just
for sure.
ruthless. He
Yeah.
fucking just whatever.
Yeah.
But like
Well, I
when
love
those
how
cops show up at that house, like they don't know that he's unstable. Like
Exactly.
he's just been
Right.
living there all this time and he's never killed any animals or anything, or you know,
Yeah.
he ain't like
nobody was
he hasn't
afraid of
taken.
him.
He looks like he's never taken a shower, as opposed to maybe he's a few days past. Like,
Didn't like
Yeah.
that they showed his face, even
Yeah.
though it was just a second. I was like, we didn't really need that. It would have been better if you just
Yeah.
yeah.
didn't.
Now Now, yeah, they gave us like the little shot that looked like
In the
it
back of the
belongs in
ambulance.
a fucking wrestler's intro video.
Yeah, yeah,
But there was some cool shit, like when he was in that the sunflowers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
that
was a
shot
cool
was
shot, man. The color looked cool.
it
Like,
was so unsettling.
yeah, dead sunflowers too, just all dried up, and
yeah.
I was like, that's cool. There was, man, they had potential.
Well, here's what I will say about it. Okay, so the guy that wrote it, his name is Chris Thomas Devlin, right? He wrote the screenplay, and he has wrote this, and then something called Cobweb, which is in post production. And then apparently it wasn't that great, so they brought in the dude that wrote the Evil Dead remake, right?
Oh, that
Even
makes sense on the gore now.
even he couldn't save it though.
Yeah,
I feel like his contributions to it was all like the van wreck, the that whole sequence. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like to
Yeah.
me, it feels like a lot of that stuff right there, and some of the other stuff that was like really, I guess par for the course for a Chainsaw Massacre film, felt like it was his contributions to the cause. You know what I mean?
hmm
But like I said, even he couldn't save it. And I don't know, man. I feel like I could sit right here and pitch y'all a better movie. Okay.
I got a better
I
ending.
feel I've got a whole better movie in mind. But what's the ending you got?
So, all right, they fuck him up. They go
Mm-hmm.
outside. The old man shows up from because you always have to have that motherfucker that's taking you back. The old
Yeah.
man shows up from the store, and you're like, oh, thank fucking God. Get in the car, get in the car. They're in the back, they're laying down. They're safe. You see it
Yeah.
pulling into that house.
Yeah.
Cuts off.
Yeah.
Pick it up next.
Yeah.
In the next movie, you don't even see them alive. They're dead. Like,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe he was related to him.
Yeah,
Part
whatever.
of the
Yeah.
same family. Something, man. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
the way it ended was just,
Yeah.
come on. It was cool the way
Well,
it cut her head off.
yeah,
He
yeah.
shook it at her.
It was the more I think about it, the more you're right, Griffin. Like it probably could have had that little low key disclaimer of what kind of movie you're getting yourself into by giving it like a subtitle.
Yeah.
I definitely,
Yeah.
the more I think about that probably would have served a better purpose.
Yeah.
I think just considering how little attachment it had with the original one in terms of like outside of just being like, oh, it's Leatherface and his mom. They could have just let this just be its own thing.
Yeah, it could have just been a
And
movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I would have enjoyed it so much more. Like if they would have just cut that chick's part out and just
not trying to sell it
redone.
to you as a legacy
And
sequel.
to me, that's what it felt. It felt like they made a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. They saw the success of how Halloween
Yeah.
was going and all this stuff. They're
They're
like,
like, well, let's
oh,
just link it
this
to the
chick
first
from
one.
this chick from the original is still alive. So let's pull her into it. Let's do a couple of reshoots because realistically, all you have to do is that one reshoot with them outside in the town where she gets fucked up, and then do some B-roll footage of her cutting a pig open for whatever fucking reason, her showing up in the fucking cornfield or the sunflower field and finding the van and the mom, and that was it. It feels like to me that they just shoehorned her into it and called it a quote unquote legacy sequel so that they could try to push it as like the
Yeah.
next Halloween.
Well, to pull
And they
people in.
fucked it up.
It's like,
Exactly. And they
oh, it's
fucked it up
40
in the
years
process.
later, just like Halloween
Yeah.
and all these other great movies that have come out. Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, like you
Because
said earlier, man, instead of following those kids could have been coming to that town,
Yeah.
but it should have been on the woman.
Yeah. And all right, so this is my pitch. I'm gonna pitch it, Trav, because I pitched it to Adam a little bit earlier, right?
all right.
All right. instead of it following the kids around, it's following the chick from the original movie, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you get some throwback, like you get some throwback shots to where she escapes. She's talking to the police. They'd send her to like a psychiatric ward and all this kind of stuff. Like she's been through some shit, so she's trying to get her shit together, right? They
Yeah.
show the interviews. That she explains what happened, the whole situation, everything, right? And this is
Yeah.
all like quick cuts, kind of
Yeah.
montagey, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's very eerie. They keep cutting back to shots of the original film, keep showing like, the ways that the original cast died in that first movie. And then like they see that they're like, other than having this traumatic experience where the cops show up, the house is there, but nobody's there. They're pulling the shit out of it. They can't find these people. So she recovers. She decides that she wants to do the Marshall thing. They could still go that route with it. And then it follows her even more. It keeps her like trying to track these people down. They couldn't have disappeared off the face of the planet. Okay. Meanwhile, like while she's all this shit's going on and it shows her doing that, then you have the secondary story of the kids
Yeah.
going to the town and doing all that stuff, right?
She gets
Yeah.
involved when the guy calls her.
Well,
You know, all that
you
happens.
can,
Because you can do that quick.
yeah. Yeah. And you could even take it a step further than that, like to a degree, but you explain like this town has like is a fucking ghost town because of this
Yeah,
family.
the fear,
Yeah, because like the cops, like why are there cops there if there's no citizens? That makes no fucking sense to me. First of all, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you kind of do some of this stuff here where it's like, the orphanage opened up, maybe the mom and the original Leatherface, because that's kind of who they were alluding to in those pictures on the wall.
Yeah.
They decided to open this orphanage up. They were doing fucked up shit to the kids, which gives them another dynamic of fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make you hate them that much more. And then the kids show up, they get into the orphanage, and you have the orphanage not be part of this strip. You have it be its own building, its
Yeah,
own.
it's like at the
It's almost
end.
like it's like it's its own character. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then you know, the people there start getting fucked up. All this crazy shit's happening. She shows up to the town. Whenever she shows up to the town, like some shit happens. She wakes up and you have that dinner scene. But instead of it just being her, then there's her and some of the other characters. That's where their story arcs cross over in that moment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And you see the original Leatherface, old as fuck, trying to hit somebody with a fucking hammer. You see other people that are involved, maybe the gas station attendant, maybe the cop is there, maybe the cop is part of this. Like you see some of these people that are still around and it doesn't make sense why they're around. Oh, they're part of this fucked up family. Okay. So then it spirals out of control there. You have basically the people that show up that are dumbass kids going up against this fucking sadistic ass family with Leatherface there. And she's trying to explain and prepare these people. And you could turn it into an all out fucking war and have it go completely over the top as much as they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And to like kind of like what they did in that second Halloween flick. Like they
Yeah.
went over the top with that shit. You know what I mean? Like they could have done it
Pitchfork
so
shit.
much better.
Well, like, and taking with what they gave us, you could have done you could have done something like, hell, you could have even condensed it and still kept it on the short and sweet type of thing and have it to where the first half of the movie, all you keep seeing is that, like, it keeps cutting back and forth between the youth, the youth group or the victims, and then Leatherface. The youth people, they all, like, for the sake of like what you were saying earlier, Adam, they do like a podcast, dude, where they just go. They're not necessarily investigative, but like they just go and they're like, hey, we're here at this place.
Yeah, this
This
shit
stuff went
happened here,
down. Yeah. Well, as it's
but that
cutting
was a
back
long
and
time
forth,
ago.
it's showing but you see them doing different places and stuff in the beginning of the movie, and you start that way you build that way you give a shit about these characters and
Yeah.
what's about to happen to them. And as
Yeah.
it's cutting from them, you cut it to Leatherface, and dude, the body count's just rising, dude. You let that be the template to give the gore hounds that watch these movies what they want. Leatherface is just fucking people up left and right, just indiscriminate, like, and have it logically to where, like, you know, let it visually show that time's passing, so that it's not like he's just on this murder fest, but it's like, oh, these guys showed up, dead now. Like, he's just holding down this fort. You don't see the family or anything just yet, but you keep the fucking, you know, you keep the kills going. And then finally, like in the third act, they're like, all right, we're going to go to Harlow or whatever, you know? We're going to go investigate the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They go down to the city, they start finding the places and everything, shooting their footage, everything's going good. They come across a few strange characters here and there at the gas station, the eatery, the occasional asshole going down the road, like that shit. And then, you know, arrive at the destination where it's like people start getting killed. You start slowly figuring out that not just one or two people are in on it, but the whole goddamn town is.
Yeah, yeah.
And have it to where, like, before the kills even happen, they run into the legacy character, the one that got away. And have it to where she's like, why the fuck are y'all here?
Yeah.
And let it go to the effect of it being like, you don't understand, like, I'm hiding. Like, you know, like, essentially, like, I'm hiding in plain sight, basically, and you guys just waltz in to this town that you have no place being in. Like, have it to where she's just as locked in with the town's old ways, but like she just fucked off or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it fucked her up, and she was traumatized. But she, how do you go define Leatherface to a psychiatrist?
Yeah.
How do you tell that to a fucking doctor? Someone that they can't catch because nobody's gonna go into that podunk town anyway.
Yeah.
So like she could, like, you know,
Everybody's
have
in
it to
on
where, like, she couldn't, you know, and let it be an allegory for
it.
the
You go there,
for
you
all
ain't
the mental,
leaving.
yeah, for all the mental health that gets overlooked in the world
Yeah.
or whatever. Find some way like that, and then continue on like with what you're saying with the movie. Have it where Leatherface, the kill count starts, and the first kill is the legacy chick, because we're going to keep things strictly chronological. She has to die first. No, but have her die that way. That whole moment gets happening and it resolves and all of that, and then you just slowly watch this shit happen, and then have it to where when the dinner thing happens, I was thinking one of two things: either you have the whole, like you're saying, like the classic where it's just a room full of people being weird, dude, just
Yeah, they
like,
got dead bodies at the table.
yeah,
Well,
or you take the dusty old, like, modern approach and have it to where they're all fucking dead, and Leatherface is just straight up in there just having dinner with them. Like, he goes over to one person trying to feed it, like its mouth won't fucking close and shit. Like, it's just like everything's decaying. Like, he's
Yeah.
just trying to feed it like maggots and
The
shit. Like,
original Leatherface is on like a hospice bed in the living room.
yeah.
Because he
yeah.
laid there and died. He's just his dead
Well,
body.
We'll
but
hint. We'll only hint at it. Make it
Yeah.
seem vague. Like, you don't. Yeah, but yeah, like you're saying, dude. Like, yeah, have it to where, you know, one of them is so fucking decayed and the face is so fucked up, but you see the dress that Leatherface was
Yeah.
wearing at the end of the first movie, and you're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
like
Well,
this isn't a case
Full
that
fan
Homeboy
service.
survived. It's just that the cycle's always been repeating. Like, you know.
Well, and something that you said kind of sparked something in me there for a second. So just imagine if the town wasn't a ghost town, right?
Yeah.
Imagine, like you said, the town is in on it, but it's not just select individuals; it's the entire town.
Yeah, it's all family.
And
All.
and well, and think about that. Instead of having
I mean,
that
that's how
table
little
scene,
towns are, dude.
yeah,
Everybody's
exactly,
related,
right, yeah.
and they
But
don't like outsiders.
yeah, but instead of having that table sequence, it's like it's a courtyard scene where like the entire town is there, and it's just fucking weirdness galore of just
Oh,
fucked
dude.
up
People are
individuals.
just flayed open on tables, served like a fucking stuffed pig.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know, just weird shit, man. Like,
yeah, and it be like the cult. It's almost, and that dude even said it sounds like a cult, but like almost the cult of Leatherhead, or Leatherface. It went from being a family, and then after 50 years, it's grown past that. It's grown from being a family in a fucked up farmhouse to being an entire town of fucked up individuals. That on the surface, everything looks fine. People go through there. Some people get out. Some people don't, but nobody investigates it. Why?
like
Because
they keep all the normal ones up front to keep the peace. Like
Yeah.
they're like a literal human wall.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that would make it so
But
much more terrifying.
and think about it. That means you don't necessarily want to just go inside Leatherface's house. You don't want to go in any of these people's houses.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Right.
like they're
Yeah.
all
Oh
fucked
yeah,
up,
you could have
man.
one where someone runs and they go up to a house and they're beating on the door and they're like, "Come in here, honey." Oh, call it. And then they come in and they look around and it's like, "Oh fuck, like
Yeah, this
you're
is
fucked up
fucked.
too." You
Yeah.
know that one of the people that was on the bus is hanging on a hook in the fucking kitchen. Like
Yeah, I
it's like, oh,
mean,
because you always had that in these movies.
yeah,
It's like you can't trust anyone.
yeah,
And then what you said about the house, dude, I didn't even think about that. But in almost all of these fucking movies, the house is a big character.
yeah,
And it did
exactly.
not have that at all.
No, it was the street. And it's like, okay, it's the fucking, they're trying to make the town be a symbol for the fucking house, but like that whole town doesn't have the personality that
No,
that one house had.
Oh,
I was missing that.
So, I
dude,
mean,
how crazy would it have been in an almost comical way if you could have had a shot where they're talking about like at the bank or something, where like they're like, yeah, the bank repossessed all this property, blah blah blah, like giving us that exposition as to how these fuckers own it.
yeah,
But then like have it cut to like the fucking house, and you hear old fucking radio with that fucking old song, "Our House
Yeah.
in the middle," you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
or is it "Our Town"? Is that what that is? "Our Town." I could be fucking up the lyrics,
Well,
but
and
have something like that going on. But like it's just Leatherface just fucking carving up a body.
It's our
yeah,
house. That's right.
and the easy way to do that too is like, okay, you've got a town that like there's nothing really going on. There's no industry, no nothing like that. Like a bank, the bank or an individual could be the like linchpin of like, well, we're just gonna like go in and we're just gonna buy everything that we can, right? Because you got to think one bank probably owns or at least has something to do with all of that property that's there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
one
Yeah.
one entity. So like, okay, someone at the bank that's not part of this decides that they want to get rich quick and they decide to sell the whole fucking town. And these people show up and there's still people there. Then you have that weird drama right out of the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm
That
thinking
they
nothing but trouble level weirdness.
Well,
yeah,
like, like, wouldn't this be an interesting idea too to inject into like, yeah, the entire town's in on it, but have it to where like some of them are reluctant. Like when it cuts to the like if there was a dinner sequence,
Maybe younger ones.
have
yeah,
it to where like all this madness is happening and you see the main characters kind of breaking down like what the fuck is going on, that type of shit, and you just kind of see at the end of the table you'll just see one person, like one of the family members, just looking straight down, like not making eye contact, just like I'm trying to get through it like,
yeah, yeah.
and like just little shit like that where it's
like people under the stairs.
like they just get like some of them get forced into it, and it's because you got the strong arm member of the family that's keeping everybody beat in shape, like
Yeah.
Well, you have someone that's like, maybe if these people can make it out of here, I can leave too.
Yeah.
I might try to help them.
Yeah. Exactly.
do like it. Do like little dumb, do little. I would call them dumb Easter eggs, man. Like do little like callbacks to like the whole fucking franchise without necessarily linking it.
Box of
Like
remotes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, where you
Yeah,
go?
In the corner at the house, there's a box of remotes.
Fucking have the I think it's the Rob Zombie one where isn't that the one where like they have the sequence where they're in the slaughterhouse?
Yeah, that was the remake.
Or was that
yeah.
one of the other off ones, like either the beginning or something like that?
I think it was I think it was the remake.
Um,
The one with fucking I like you. I'm gonna take you. I'll let you fuck my sister. That him
like
in it.
have like the meat hook sequence where they picks the dude up and hoists them on that on the spikes while they're still alive, doing
Yeah,
crazy gore moments like that.
yeah,
Like I also kind of like the chainsaw crawl space sequence in this one.
yeah. I
Uh,
mean, that was
I wished it would have resulted in an actual kill because that would have been brutal as shit if we're gonna just go gorehound for a minute.
yeah.
I don't think Rob Zombie directed one.
I
He
don't
only
think
did
so.
Halloween, right?
Yeah,
But like Devil's Rejects and House of Thousand Corpses is almost like a fucking
It's a homage.
yeah, for sure, dude.
yeah.
The whole fucked up
Well, I
family,
mean,
the house,
but you guys know what I'm.
yeah,
Well, I'm trying to think. They rebooted that. I remember when they finally brought it back the first time.
yeah.
The very first time when we were teenagers, it was the Jessica Biel one,
Yeah.
and
Which
then
I like that remake, by the way.
oh,
I thought it
dude,
was
the shot where the girl pulls the gun out of her crotch and blows her fucking
Oh,
brains
that's
out, and
right.
that camera shot that goes through her
Yeah.
Now I
head,
remember.
dude, that was fucking dope.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, it was horrible and grotesque and everything, but just the shot, man. I was like, how did they do that? Like, I remember watching that, being like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But when that movie came out, it got a sequel, right? Or was it this weird thing where they started skipping, where they're like, okay, we rebooted it, now we rebooted it again, now we're gonna go be a prequel, now we're rebooting again, and then now
No.
another prequel.
Yeah, they sequelized, and I think they prequelized the remake at some point.
What was
I
that
think.
last one we watched? It was a prequel. Beverly
Yeah, that
Hills
was its own
Kid.
thing. The just Leatherface, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they made him
Womp,
Leatherface as a
womp,
teenager.
Yeah. So I mean, all I'm saying is, it feels like they just turned this into a legacy sequel at a
Just
certain
because.
point, just because they could. They did some reshoots and all this kind of stuff, and if it would have stayed as just its own standalone reboot, quote unquote, if you want to call it that, I think it would have been a fantastic fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. But with them injecting that and trying to
Yeah.
force that to happen, it's a half star for me.
Yeah, dude, if
I
you're
was
gonna
gonna
call
give,
yourself a
yeah,
legacy sequel, there's certain notes you gotta hit. And
Absolutely.
it
You have
really
to
felt like they
explain.
cut more of her out of the movie.
Yeah,
It
right.
felt like I was watching, I was like, is that all
Yeah.
she gonna be in here? It was like,
They have to explain
okay.
something
Something.
with the villain. Yeah,
I mean,
something.
like
why
dude,
has this woman dedicated her whole entire life to this? You know?
I mean,
and why are we only literally seeing one encounter of her in the future?
yeah, right.
She didn't think to go back to the town where it happened.
Dude, we need not even, dude, this movie need not even be like changed really, just other than the title, instead of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just rename it Skin. That'd been a creepy, ominous name for a movie like this.
Yeah.
Not bad for somebody's second movie though. I will say
No, I
that.
mean,
I mean, dude, I give it a half star simply because like it's it's one of those films where I think I've said this either last week or the week prior with one of the movies. If like for a lot of people, I'm happy that this movie will at least be one of their first introductions into horror gore type stuff.
yeah.
I hate that this movie is going to beat the classic films to the punch
Yeah.
with younger audiences.
It's on Netflix.
Now maybe maybe the
available.
ones that maybe the ones that stick around and delve deeper into that genre will get obviously watch the old ones and we'll be like, okay.
This one was just straight gore
This-
though, man. Just they were like more
No,
gore, less story.
The whole thing with the some of the team from the Evil Dead remake, that makes so much sense.
It does, man. As soon as he said that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because they fucking
a lot
went
of it.
for it.
Because that's the thing. If you're into gore films, I absolutely recommend this movie.
Yeah.
But as a Texas Chainsaw movie,
For the story
that's
line.
where it's like, that's where I would be like, only approach if you're just a fan and you're not that tied up with the details.
Yeah. Well, the way that I see it is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, very, very, very high on that list for me.
Yeah.
Original Halloween, very, very, very high on that list. Like, some of those first flicks that they released, especially like Texas Chainsaw came out before there was technically a genre considered slasher.
Yeah, we had
It was
talked
just
about
this,
that before. It was kind of.
it was
Well,
this
in the
weird
70s.
low budget movie. Yeah.
But we have to, and it's something that I hate doing, and it's acknowledging the fact that they will never make movies like that again, and it sucks so bad. Because think about this though, guys, and it's something I don't think like it just occurred to me. Uh, the first Halloween, the first uh Friday the 13th, all of that. Those movies were such a big deal when they dropped and for the horror genre
Yeah.
that they managed to survive up to the 90s, and for us
Yeah.
to watch and be like, holy shit.
It
Like,
shaped
I
other
mean,
movies.
granted, didn't have streaming or the internet as we have now, but those movies were able to hold the test of time to the point where, like, even on a word of mouth level, people are like, you haven't seen this?
Yeah.
Oh, let's order a pizza.
Dude, there's a lot of
We're
people that
about to
haven't
do some
seen the
shit.
original.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
can't
and
even remember who it
that's
was, but I was like, nah, the original, dude. It came out like the 70s. And he's like, I think he was talking about the one in the 90s. And I'm like, nah, dude, that ain't the first one. Like,
Yeah.
well, that first Texas
What?
Chainsaw, absolutely.
I gotta Google it,
I
man.
hate that. I hate that in the horror world, it's reaching its age where some movies are gonna fall into obscurity
40 years.
because because I mean, even though uh I went on and eventually watched the earlier ones, I will admit my exposure to the franchise was I think we talked about this when we did Texas Chainsaw Month. Uh, it was the Matthew McConaughey. It was the third one, The Next Generation,
Yeah.
which was just a weird fucking movie.
I
See,
love
that
that movie,
weirdness.
though. Yeah.
Oh,
And
dude, it
his
was so
fucking
weird.
acting, dude.
And this
He
is
just
this
goes
is
for it.
this is the Renee Zellweger one, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
When she gets in that limo,
Yeah.
third nip,
Gets in the
Yeah.
car with the cop, and he's taking her back.
and he just starts talking to her about just the essence of horror, which was weird.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking do it, though.
That's how you end the movie with a question mark.
When he was just shaking that head at her. And notice he never was like, he never went full water boy on him.
Yeah, he never. Yeah,
I don't think he ever made a noise.
That was something a coworker told me, and because I was talking with them
Because
about
he's
it,
always screaming
and he was like, that was one of the things about his character was he was batshit crazy, so he was just making crazy fucking noises all the time,
Yeah.
especially when he was slinging
Scary,
the
dude.
chainsaw, and he was like, that wasn't
well,
in
and
this,
like
and he was
he
like,
was real manic too when he was doing stuff. Like,
yeah, he
Yeah.
was
You
like,
know,
I
just-
didn't, yeah, he was like, and I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it until he brought it up either. But it's like you don't realize how just that subtlety in his character makes a difference until it's not there.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there was never a moment where like you were saying he was just like,
well, dude, when the
like,
legacy character finally meets him face to face, and she's like, "You don't even remember me," and it's like, "Bitch, how could he? He don't even know who the fuck
Yeah.
you are." But
That
she,
was the
to
dumbest
her,
shit.
in her mind, she's like, "You fucking kill all of us, and you didn't even remember us." Like she felt cheated, you know? Because like Michael,
dude,
obsessed with her, you know? Michael Myers,
Yeah.
obsessed. This
Dude,
motherfucker didn't even
wouldn't it
remember. He's like, I killed fucking. It's like this ain't the same guy. How do you
dude,
not
wouldn't it
know
be
that?
crazy?
Okay, he's moving around.
What wouldn't it have been an interesting I think this would have been interesting if like whenever that whole thing was happening, without it being too supernatural but more artistic, I guess. Which whenever they're confronting each other, or when she's confronting him and she's like, "You don't remember me?" That whole stuff we were talking about. It cuts to Leatherface just kind of like looking at her,
With his head
and then
turned
you just see
sideways,
this like
you know,
sort of, yeah, you see this wide
plausible.
shot of them in the street, right? But instead of it, you just see like Leatherface and her within a proximity, but it's like they're standing in a fog. Like to live through Leatherface's eyes is like having a fog of war all around you at all times.
Yeah.
And like have little moments where like it's nothing really supernatural, but more or less like just an artistic way of showing like kind of taking the idea when they're in Halloween, in the Danny McBride reboot, where when they're at the psych ward and he pulls the mask out for
Everybody starts
Michael, and
freaking
like all the
out.
other patients start flipping out like a predator's getting stirred, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that cue, but instead have like just these crazy visuals of like Leatherface just being batshit crazy more or less, but he's in this weird like his state of mind is so warped that his reality looks warped, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So
half
it gets
star.
us one. So it gets one
Oh,
and a half
yeah.
Yeah,
stars.
I'm half star. And hey, Hollywood, pick one. Either you gonna
Yeah.
have a school shooting or a racist rebel flag. Pick one. You don't have to
Yeah.
do both.
Yeah.
We get
Right.
it, you know. Now,
Yeah.
I would say you just throw the flag out because small town in Texas. You
Yeah.
kind of already
Yeah.
know what's up, you know.
Yeah.
Do we
Well,
really have to do both, though? You know, like what did
uh,
that add to the story that
Yeah.
that girl was in a
Nothing.
school shooting, other
well,
than her having a flashback when she was laying there, and I was like, oh, so she didn't help her friend then. Now she's gonna help. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
well, I
I think I
know.
would just do it if somebody was trying to kill me. I,
Now, granted, the exaggerated wokeness of the group was absolutely on full blast.
it
But
was over the top, yeah.
I would say though that that's probably the one element in slasher films that they kept tried and true is that regardless of which movie you pick, it doesn't even matter what character, IP, or whatever. Pick a movie where it's a group of teenagers, and those teenagers absolutely reflect
The
like
times,
exaggerations of
yeah,
that time.
and they did
So
it.
they absolutely nailed that.
Well, like as soon as he
But I will
stepped on the
say, if
bus
you're
and everybody just put their phone up, I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
if
Like,
yeah, like if you're someone that's gonna enjoy seeing wokeness get literally chopped down a peg or few, uh, this is your fucking movie, dude. Because like Leatherface kills these woke people left and right through this movie,
well, that whole
and
bus scene was just,
I feel like that's part of the reason why the movie not only flopped with diehard fans, but just in general. Because even if it's something played
yeah,
maybe for laughs or whatever,
you're
I feel
still
like it's
attacking
still,
woke. Yeah.
and you know,
I'm just waiting on the memes, dude. Somebody's gonna put Joe Rogan's face on him when he steps on that bus, and
Yeah.
it's just Joe Rogan chopping up everybody.
I mean,
all
It'd
you
be
know.
funny.
like, they're gonna superimpose the news
Yeah,
organizations
and put
over all the
Trump,
phones.
like they did that one scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
No, instead of the chainsaw, it's just gonna be the word ivermectin.
Yeah.
You want to hit some movie news real quick?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I really want to stress that there is something to be had in this movie before we move on. But it's certainly not the kind of sequel you're going to expect.
Oh yeah, for sure. But first up here we have Kevin Feige says Doctor Strange is the new anchor of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what he had to say about it. Benedict has turned this character into an icon, appearing in a historic 3 of the top 6 films of all time. It's been quite a journey. I remember our very first meeting was set up as a general, and we wanted to pitch him this great character. And before we could, he said, "So tell me about Doctor Strange, because you knew, because somewhere you knew what this could be, and you've always seen the tremendous potential in this character. Because of that, you've become the anchor of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the only actor capable of guiding us through the madness of the multiverse." So that was the interview that he had with Variety. So, and the reason that I wanted to bring this up was, I mean, with what they did, what they've been able to do in Loki and WandaVision, and continuing on that same idea into Multiverse of Madness, I feel like that in Multiverse of Madness, we're going to get some retreading, right, of Loki and WandaVision, because you got to imagine there's some people that haven't watched that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have some type of
Like
context.
when he goes to see her. And
Yeah,
they start
exactly.
talking. He's like, "What happened?"
Yeah, yeah.
Because he don't
And
know.
I think that, yeah, and I think that it'll be broad enough for general audiences, but I think that they'll put enough flavor in there for people that have been sticking around the whole time, And I think that it's awesome. I never thought I would live in a world where not only Tony Stark was like the start, and Iron Man was the start and the linchpin of the MCU, and then now it's going to be
It's Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like what?
Came in hard with the Spider-Man movie,
Yeah,
and now we're just get all that bleed over. Just
yeah,
that I can't. That trailer. I've watched that trailer several times.
yeah.
It's
Me
so
too.
good.
I mean, I think that I'm glad that they're giving Doctor Strange his comeuppance here, and like his ability to like kind of carry this on through, because and it makes perfect sense. The multiverse is breaking down. He
Own the
feels like
property
more,
now.
yeah, he feels like he's more or less responsible for that. Even though, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen at the same time. I've seen some of those fan mashups where you have the Loki scenes where the multiverse is splitting out, where the timelines are splitting, and then they're putting it up with the Spider-Man stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really cool and fascinating. And I'm just happy. It's crazy that of what they've been able to do with kind of like a B tier character, more or less, in the comics. And it was the same way with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron Man forever was just this kind of B tier character. There was the diehard fans, but nothing compared to like Spider-Man, X-Men, things
Yeah.
like that. And
And now
it's the
they've
right
done it with Strange.
person. Yeah, it's
Oh,
the right
Cumberbatch's so
person
good.
at the right time with the right stories with the right team. Like it's just, it's just great.
Yeah, I certainly was not expecting uh the character to get as much love. So it's been Christmas for me with all of Doctor Strange's appearance. Like I wouldn't say he, he he's probably my favorite of the B list for sure.
Yeah.
I've definitely read like he's in that category with like Daredevil and stuff. Like
Yeah, yeah.
here's the thing about like like with Daredevil, and you can include Spider-Man for sure and Doctor Strange. They've they've got simple morals to their story,
Yeah.
but they go on this really fantastic way of telling it, and I've always enjoyed those the most because there's almost like I don't know
It's
Doctor
it's a
and just from like a from a present standpoint, looking at how they did comics back in the day, because like I was certainly not like I wasn't Doctor Strange is old as shit, so I was reading when I finally got old enough and went back and read some of those comics. I quickly found out Strange was definitely a favorite just because of how silly those comics are, really, man. Like
yeah.
they're fun, they're crazy, like they're outrageous, but at the same time they're so psychedelic. Like it's the closest. Like Doctor Strange was the comic book that absolutely the people who were the artists at Marvel, the ones who tripped on acid, they were like, "You're doing Doctor Strange," and they were like, "Cool."
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's I'm happy, and I'm happy with the direction that they're taking everything, and like I'm happy for fucking Cumber Snatch. You know, like he 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 deserved it, and like he worked his ass off to get to this point, and I'm happy for everybody involved, man. Like I can't wait to see, because like I feel like this next, of course they're gonna have to top Thanos, and I feel like with Doctor Strange being the linchpin in it, it's just gonna be balls out crazy shit all over the place. Whether it be like something kind of small and more like nuanced, or just something completely over the top, like
well,
what they did in Spider Man. You know.
yeah, and see, I have a theory on the trajectory of Strange's narrative in the MCU. Uh, I've said it before. And I think it's even been brought up on the podcast. We're witnessing Strange become the Sorcerer Supreme,
Yeah.
and we're getting to see him deal with all these really overpowering threats that even put him in check.
Yeah.
And the thing with a lot, at least with a lot of modern Doctor Strange comic books, is that a lot of the big crossovers, Strange, like they'll go to him, but he'll be like, it's beneath me.
Yeah.
Like, come back when like tentacles are coming out of a crack in space, then I'm
Yeah.
your guy. But
Yeah.
like seeing him get to the point where he's like that like almost like Dr. Manhattan level, where he's almost like, I don't really care that that's happening. That's not important to me.
Yeah.
Um, Now, granted, now some of the stories obviously like if they ever do, which they could absolutely set up for with Multiverse of Madness and this whole multiverse arc. If they ever do the version of Secret Wars where uh Doctor Doom becomes basically
Yeah.
God Emperor Doom. One of the things in that story arc is that Doctor Strange is more or less his muscle, like his right hand man,
That's
and
cool.
it was an interesting read.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it's my theory is that we're gonna get to where whenever Benedict Cumberbatch is like, all right, I'll still show up as Doctor Strange, but I'm tired of being on a wire harness doing spells and shit. Like it's time to roll me back a little bit. They could put him in that capacity to where, we'll see a cameo where he'll show up and be like, hey, this is about to happen. I've been following this. Like, still show that he's doing stuff. He's still getting work done, but he's not, he's only showing up when it's like a big fucking deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And whenever we get movie 3, maybe we'll get something like that where, his big send off will be uh something of the lines where he becomes the insanely overpowering like Doctor Strange that everyone knows and loves.
Yeah. 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 I can't wait to see the journey to get there. You know. Next up here, The Batman debuts with near perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes. So the critics are loving Pattinson and the Batman, officially scheduled to release in movie theaters on March 4th. The film has been screening early for the critics, many of whom have been putting their reviews of the anticipated movie on Rotten Tomatoes. The film's critical score has been labeled fresh with a 96% rating, a powerful debut for the new standalone Batman film from director Matt Reeves. Of course, this number will likely fluctuate a bit as more reviews come in from critics, but if this is an indication of how well received the film really is, the score probably won't be falling too far away. Debuting to a near perfect score at 96% is also fantastic news for the Batman leading up to its wide release, as it will only help convince more film goers to buy tickets to see the movie. We'll see the fans ultimately we'll see what the fans ultimately think. But some early reviews says Pattinson will become a new favorite Batman for many viewers. So Batman's coming out Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I, like you get wrapped up in work and life and all this other shit, and then like you forget, like we've watched the trailers, the movie's coming, like all this stuff, but like
This month went by quick.
yeah, it was and I didn't realize that like it's coming out Friday. Like my brother said something to me about it like towards the end of the week last week. He's like, "Hey, are you going to go watch that Batman movie next weekend?" And I'm like, "Is it coming out next weekend?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it is coming out next weekend." So we're definitely looking to go and check that out. So maybe maybe have a little bit of a pre-star. You know what I'm saying? Before we do it on the pod. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for it though, man. I'm more excited to see how fucking dude plays the Riddler
I've
than
heard he's so
anything.
good.
Yeah,
I've
dude.
heard he's
So
so good.
I cannot wait.
And
You
it's
know, I
only
just
it has dropped the score, but it's at like an 86 now. That ain't nothing. It's
yeah,
high across the board on
good,
everything.
good.
IMDb, Google. I
Yeah,
haven't really seen someone say a bad thing about it, so I don't even know.
yeah. I can't wait. And they said it's
So,
almost 3 hours long. I think it's like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. Fucking
yeah.
insane,
There's an IMAX theater not too far away that's got it
Yeah,
showing. I might have to
I know, right?
check
Like
it
I'm
out,
definitely gonna go this weekend to see
see
it.
how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm 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 still skeptical. Uh, I want it to be good. The trailers look fantastic, but I'm gonna say proceed with caution though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go in there not knowing what to expect, and I'm hoping to be, just like I'm hoping that my mouth is open the entire movie. That's what I'm hoping for. So I'm excited to see it though.
Absolutely.
All right, next up here, Free Guy arrives on Disney Plus as director gives sequel update. So, with every successful movie comes the obvious question of when it will be given a sequel. Ryan Reynolds' movie Free Guy was a big success when it was released last year, pulling in a gross of 331 million worldwide, and now ready to be a hit all over again on Disney Plus. Um,
I watched this a couple of days ago and I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, absolutely can see why why it's successful, of course.
yeah. So it says, while Ryan Reynolds has been taking a sabbatical from acting, the in demand star has a number of projects waiting for him on his return. And Free Guy director Levy has his own laden slate of projects to deal with, including his work on the new series of Stranger Things and as director on Starman and producer on The Boogeyman. Having worked together on the new release of The Atom Project, the pair recently spoke to
Oh,
Collider and the subject of Free Guy 2 came up, and those expecting a quick sequel are going to be disappointed. Levy said, "We loved Free Guy. We were thrilled that Free Guy was as successful as it was, and particularly as an original movie at a time where few get made and even fewer are hits. So that was gratifying. And if we can crack that sequel, that's something that might be fun to make together." So, I mean, I haven't watched it yet.
I watched it about 5 months ago.
When
Yeah.
you when you
So
when you when the movie finally
I didn't
drops
like it.
what it's like on the surface of the movie, it's about an NPC that wakes up.
Yeah.
When the movie decides to drop the knowledge, which it does in little breadcrumbs, but when it finally tells you what the movie's really about, it's good. It's unexpected. It's better than it could have went.
Right. But
But the the a lot of bits in it's hilarious, dude. This
Very
guy
funny.
basically He basically lives in Saints Row. I'll leave it at that, Griffin.
Damn.
It's over the top, man.
So there's people
Uh,
firing dildo cannons and shit.
Fucking cool guy
oh,
shows
it's
up,
in.
dude.
I'll put it this way. Adam's pushed this movie a little bit here and there throughout the months, and I regret waiting so long to have seen it. I should have watched it probably the first time he recommended it.
I
It's just a
mean,
silly goose time
yeah.
with Ryan Reynolds, so that's always good.
Shut your brain off and relax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over the top.
You'll
Wake
have
up.
that. You'll have that fucking song. You'll have that Mariah Carey song in your head when it
Yeah.
goes off.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's his favorite song.
So next up, comedian and Master of None star Aziz Ansari is set to make his directorial debut with a comedy drama starring legendary actor Bill Murray. So this was reported by the Hollywood Reporter. Ansari has set up the untitled film at Searchlight Pictures, where he will be putting on many different hats. In addition to serving as director, first for the entertainer, he also wrote the screenplay, will serve as a producer, and plans to play a role in the film. Yuri Henley, who produced Murray's 2020 film On the Rocks and worked with Ansari on his upcoming comedy special Nightclub Comedian, is also producing. Details on the characters Murray and Ansari are playing weren't made clear, but the film is based on the Atul Gawande book, Being Mortal, Medicine, and What Matters in the End. The book was described by the New York Times as moving and clear-eyed look at aging and death in our society and at the harms we do in turning it into a medical problem rather than a human one. So yeah, we have that to look forward to.
Yeah, I'd looked that up where they said something of the book's based on like hospice care, end of life stuff, you know.
Right.
People, and it's like
We're gonna get Termin ill Murray.
But Aziz Ansari directing? I thought he got canceled.
No,
He's
I mean,
back. I'm joking.
Didn't he get canceled for like having sex with a chick that wanted to have sex with him?
Something about a blowjob.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think he asked for head.
Oh yeah.
And then got canceled for it.
I mean, if I got canceled every time I asked for head,
yeah, like I asked though. You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Louis C.K. He asked if he could beat off in front of people. I mean, at least he asked.
You didn't have to watch. Yeah.
I would watch.
Yeah, you know.
Yes. I'd be like, am I making any money off this?
Yeah. Sure, man.
Rub one out, dude. Whatever floats your boat. Can we talk comedy afterwards, though?
Yeah, please.
He's like, we can talk comedy for all you want, but I just got to clear my head real quick, okay? I got to get the bullets out the gun.
When he clears his head, he looks down at his dick. He's like, So, last up here. So, just as a fucking disclaimer or whatever, like, pretty much 99% of the movie news right now is Batman-related movie news.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to stay away from as many Batman things, you know, as possible. I just want to talk about the current rating of it. You know what I mean? So, but right here, Fallout TV shows perfect casting should ease fans' concerns.
I mean, we may be on the cusp of like the silliest of the goose times, dude.
Yeah. So the news that Walton Goggins has been perfectly cast in Amazon's upcoming Fallout series should ease the concerns of fans of the video game franchise. Since his breakout role as Shane in The Shield, Goggins has carved out a prolific career as complex villains in the likes of Justified and Ant-Man and the Wasp. His involvement in Fallout is a further indicator of prestige quality alongside Westworld's executive producers Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, who have created and developed the series. Not much. Yeah, right. I mean,
damn, you know?
Yeah. Not much else is known about Fallout aside from the involvement of Captain Marvel writer Geneva Robertson Dwart. Oh, come on, man. and The Office producer Graham Wagner as showrunners. Based on the popular series of video games, the series will presumably focus on life in a post-apocalyptic America, with the original video game having debuted in 1997. The adaptation can draw from extensive source material, including 4 main games, 6 spin-offs, and 3 tabletop board games. However, many video game adaptations, such as Uncharted, have a considerable mountain to climb in the form of fan expectations, and Fallout is no different. I mean, I don't think Goggins would have done it if it
No.
wasn't going to be. You know what I mean?
I watch
Hear me
anything
out.
with Baby Billy in it, dude.
Hear me out, man.
Anything.
Because whenever I saw this, I got excited, dude. Imagine, okay, we have him as a ghoul in the present time, and he's still talking like Walton Goggins. He doesn't have that rasp
Yeah.
that all the other ghouls have, you know. But but have it where, like, you know, he's just explaining crazy shit, and he's doing it in his classic, that fucking quick retort type of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you find out that, like, somehow he was a Vault Tech employee. And, like, make the twist where it's like he kind of knew what was going on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it's implied in the video games that Vault Tech absolutely caused the...
Yeah.
You know, everything. But, like, just some funny shit, you know? Like, I just imagine so many,
he's
like...
gonna kill it.
Like those like shots where, like, it's a wide shot and something blows up and the person, like, falls over and stumbles and shit like that, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and with the way that the Lord of the Rings stuff looks like it's shaking down, I think it's in pretty good hands, man. I may be wrong,
They got
but
plenty of money.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can just hear him say something. You hear him say some shit like, "Welcome to Megatown."
Yeah.
There ain't nobody here because they all fucking died. But anyway, welcome to Megatown.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
How much is that? 8 caps. You know.
Yeah.
I've started saving my caps since the war started, just in case.
or you hear him say something like, "Boy, you better be awfully thirsty because it's gonna cost you some caps."
I mean, it's gonna be great. I'm excited, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. But yeah, that's all the movie news that that sparked my interest. Like I said, there was a ton of Batman related news about the movie and like what happens in the movie, and I'm just like, you know. So
While I set my trailer station up here, I did see that Disney will halt all releases in Russia. And I was like, okay. Now, what about North Korea or anywhere else?
Yeah, I know, right?
Does terrible shit. Your movie's still gonna come out there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just one person in North Korea.
How about
yeah, for the sake of time stamping where we're at in history, yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, I saw a thing the other day that I thought was pretty crazy. So, current and former members of Decapitated are at the Polish-Ukrainian border, and they're handing out supplies. They're helping hand out supplies and like medicine, water, things like that to the Ukrainian people, and help get some of the civilians safe into Poland. So I was like, that's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
when
people come together, dude.
Well, and people that like listen to fucking that don't listen to death metal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, they're just making a bunch of racket. Why are they so angry and all this kind of stuff? And then you see shit like that happening, and you hear about that, and it's like, I mean, they're just fucking people, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot going on overseas right now. So.
Yeah, there's a lot going on overseas. There's a lot that's going on here. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, we're in a weird time in history.
yeah.
And maybe it's always been that way, but we're finally stepping up to the plate to be like, oh shit, we've got the best vantage point now. Holy shit, what a world.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how, everything shakes out, man, but it's a fucking weird thing. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this first movie's got fucking Garfarkle in it.
Does it?
Andrew Garfield, yeah.
It's got Garfarkle
I
Dude,
think
in it?
it might be a show. Yeah, it's a series on Hulu.
Hulu.
hey, what's your favorite Lemon and Garfile,
Yeah.
whatever, Garfarkle song?
Garfarkle.
Garfarkle. Man, that's a name that should be a name you use when you go whenever you go out to eat and you leave a name for your
Yeah.
party. Garfarkle party is 6.
So
Garfarkle party is 6.
people are looking around like Garfarkle.
What?
Who
What
the
in
fuck
the
is that?
Garfarkle are you doing? That's some Hank Hill words right there.
What? Under the
Boy, I
banners
tell
of
you
heaven.
what.
I'm ready,
Here you
man.
go.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
It's Peter Parker.
So it's like FX's version of True Detective or something here. It looks like True Detective. Like,
I was thinking Broadchurch.
here you go.
We already have Broadchurch.
Oh, that was the guy from Peacemaker, the cop. See the weirdness.
Digging the music.
Building the tension.
It was just him and his 6-shooter in the desert.
I might check that out.
Oh, I'm sure that's got it's got some pretty good acting in it.
Yeah.
He's also at a point in his life where he doesn't have to take a bullshit role.
Yeah, right.
He's got Spider-Man money.
Yeah. That web slinging money.
He's got them Weberinos, dude.
So this next trailer here is based on a book as well.
Pachenko.
Yeah. Pachinko. Isn't that those machines? That's pachinko.
I thought it was a type of breadcrumb, but
Are you thinking about Planko?
Play.
Planko and Panko and
You think
hanging
about
out with
that Planko?
Pachenko.
You know that game?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, dude. Where you drop the
When
thing
you
and
said
there's
it,
the little
I'm over
pegs.
here like Pachinko. I'm like Planko.
Oh yeah,
I'll
that
never
was
forget.
that game is anxiety inducing because you're like, go the way I want it, go the way I want it, and it doesn't.
I'll never forget when somebody was like, you know those fucking books, man, with those fucking Sudoku puzzles in them, and I
Yeah.
went, what'd you say? Sudoku. But all right,
Sudoku, the new
Planko
fragrance from Calvin Klein.
from Garfarkle.
Maybe you're worth it.
All right,
I'm ready,
3,
man.
2, 1, play.
The international sensation. Everyone got tickled.
What's the pre-trailer?
Wait, this on the steps of Mongol.
Damn, that was fast.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're looking up, guys.
Don't look up. Okay. moving on up, you know.
Yeah.
Is this like a Benjamin Button kind of thing going on? Like Legend of Bagger Vance? We're gonna see someone's life, like
Yeah.
Somebody was like, "We're gonna make Cloud Atlas make sense." No. I mean, it's got good drama vibes, man.
Jinha.
I like that it's not really telling you what the movie's
Yeah.
about, though.
I mean, that don't look bad.
Peep it and see. Is it a series or a movie? Gotta be a
It's a
series, right?
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, right. All right. Once upon a
Oh
time,
God.
happily never after. What the fuck is
You're about to
this?
find out.
Is this
It's a foreign,
okay?
but it looks so over the top. Just
Oh,
you'll
all
see, like
right.
just
Like Baron Munchausen over the top.
I mean, motherfuckers running in place, digging a hole in the ground. What about that? But are y'all ready?
Play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
This holiday season.
Yeah.
What the?
Damn.
It's like Your Highness, but Spanish.
It looks pretty cheeky, dude.
I mean, if we're not doing that on the pod, then what the fuck are we doing with our lives?
I mean,
It just got here a month earlier.
It's the start of a sexual revolution, Trav. We've got to fucking be a part of that.
I mean, when that movie goes off, like the word of the hour is gonna be pampered. Like, dude, that movie just made me feel pampered.
Yeah, right. I discovered things about myself.
I am honest with the man in the mirror.
All right, we got fucking Renee Zellweger and Judy Greer. Let's do it, man.
Do they have the comments turned on? All right. 3, 2, 1, play. She's playing a
Okay.
Karen.
Oh, Bloomhouse?
Bloomhouse on NBC? Getting kind of Fargo-y. Yeah. She's the one that did it. Whoa, why does she look different now?
Oh.
Oh. She had work done and stuff like.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Hmm.
It's like it's supposed to be serious, but it looks like a comedy.
Yeah.
That's a courtroom limp. That happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hell, Bill Cosby went blind. The first time they took him into court, he
Yeah.
left, he couldn't see.
I mean.
He's like, I'm legally blind.
Yeah, he couldn't see what he had been putting his dick in.
Put pop.
The Pirates, the last royal treasure.
Is this a porn parody?
No, it's a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a foreign
Okay.
pirate movie too.
They called man on the streaming service Netdix. The Pirates.
All right.
Dude, why hasn't there been a streaming porn service?
I mean, you pay a
look, all right.
subscription.
Well, I mean, but think about it though. Like I'm talking about high quality.
4K. You get that if you pay those subscriptions to sites. I mean, but it's not like that you can just hop on there and it's an app. Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Just an app where they open it. Because I think, like, you'd have to go to a website, either download it, play it there. It's like, nah, man, get an app. You can have it on your phone. There's no porn apps.
No.
Do they not allow them?
Oh.
Well,
I guess
you'd
not.
have to put a credit card in and stuff, so they let you
Yeah.
download Netflix. That
FAP.
has rated R content kids shouldn't be
You call it
watching.
the FAP app.
Oh,
I think we
download our
partner
FAP.
I think we partner with Pornhub on this.
It's got to be
No,
Pornhub.
we're found in FAP app and Netdix.
All right. But yeah, sorry to throw us in that tangent there.
Not gears are spinning, dude.
I know, right? Call Jeff.
SWAT Lord. He's probably got the code for it. He's like, been thinking about this for years.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you to
Thought
call
you'd never ask.
Yeah.
You'll hear him adjust his seat and go,
yeah.
What do you need?
He drops it.
Yeah.
Props his feet up.
Check your Google Drive.
Adam. All right, I'm ready for the Pirates.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Might be good, dude. It's a foreign. Not a Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
More like Pirates of the Hidden Dragon.
Looks like a comedy.
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, they're going for it.
What the
Man.
fuck? Like, that was so much trailer in like a minute and a half.
I mean, I kind of want to watch
Comes
that
out
too.
tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Shit does not look
I
bad,
mean, I
you
got
know?
Netflix.
it was just
Yeah.
lots of yelling, arms outstretched, wave riding, people sword fighting,
Yeah.
explosions,
People running on
lightning.
the side of the ship.
Dude, Adderall's a hell of a drug, y'all. Like, that was Adderall the trailer, dude.
It looks good.
That fucking guitar riff starts playing.
That's the trailer guitar chord, you know? Sissy.
It's not about what you think it's about.
Is it about a sister
No,
or
I don't know. I just said that.
all right, let's see. Let's see what we got
All right,
here.
3, 2, 1, play.
Isn't it?
Still fucking dying over here.
Okay. She's a
Not what you thinking.
oh in public. That would be weird though if you were in public and you were like, I don't even. I mean, you're almost like a celebrity.
Yeah.
You kind of can't go out in public.
So I hear at the end of the day, you're just another dude.
Oh, they're jealous. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
So she's fucking crazy.
I mean, that was a pretty good
Alright.
trailer. Yeah.
Oh man. Sorry I broke character there for a second. That was
I
that was
didn't
goddamn
know we
funny.
were in, I didn't know we were in character for a minute. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, dude, we're always in character.
I mean, you know.
Here's somebody that's out of character. This is a
Yeah.
documentary.
Oh.
I think this is the one about Marilyn Manson and all the fucked up shit he did to these women,
Mm,
which I didn't really know about. I heard there
yeah.
was gonna be a lawsuit or something, but let's see what they say. Now there's a documentary about it, so everyone
Shit.
can hate him,
Yeah. Ah.
All right.
Let's fucking do it, man.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh, Evan Rachel Wood. She looks
Ah.
different.
Yeah.
Bunch of beautiful people. I mean, here's the thing. Would you think you would have a normal relationship with someone like Marilyn Manson? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What do you
I
think you're
mean,
getting into there? Look at the public image he's put out there. Like,
yeah.
I'm not, trying to discredit anybody here for their, what happened to them, but
Yeah, I mean, I
just
don't
from what
know,
I
man.
know about him, the songs I've heard, the interviews I've seen, I would imagine he's a fucking weird dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wore a bodysuit. Remember when he did the Dope Show and was on MTV and
Yeah.
just the weirdness.
Yeah.
And
I
would
mean,
stay in character for, you'd see Rob Zombie do an interview and he just act like a normal person.
yeah.
Marilyn Manson's always fucking,
Banana. Banana.
apparently an
Yeah.
asshole to work with. Oh, that's right. Remember they went on tour and he was like, fuck him, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell's empty.
Is it?
That's what they're saying.
Oh,
Oh, it was hot.
let's check it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cult. Sister wives. He's giving them drugs. That's how you get them in. Do the mushrooms? Living a hedonistic lifestyle, dude. She has a cold sore.
Oh, it's more than a cold sore.
Oh, he beat her, I think. Our God. I mean, that's how you make a trailer.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't know what
Did it.
Banana. All right. Barbarians.
It's barbarians.
Yeah, man. I'm ready.
I gotta leave my comment because if I don't, I won't do it. I'll
Yeah.
close the video and
Then you're like, fuck.
yeah, then it's like I'm not
Going to
go
the
back with it.
history. Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
That channel you leave it on when you're on the phone or not paying attention.
Oh, it's so fucking.
Didn't he get his dick cut off?
Yeah.
So
Oh, he cut somebody's dick off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think they let something eat his dick.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good actor though. What was that movie where those? Remember that dudes come over and held the family hostage? Golf club.
Strangers.
Nah, the
Funny
British.
Games?
Yeah, kind of has a Funny Games kind of vibe, man. I think dude's in on this because he was like, "We're selling the place," and then these two show up. That might be his buddies. A Willy, 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 Willy. He might be in on it.
I bet that's really good though.
Yeah, I
I'll
kind of
peep
want to
that.
check
It,
that
it
out.
absolutely has Funny Games vibes.
Yeah. What is this game
Yeah.
about? Is it funny?
You
Yeah.
are you having a laugh?
Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is he?
The Innocents trailer number 1.
Oh, more
Another-
options?
let's
Cool.
see. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Want to see a dead body?
Yeah, right. What?
Oh, he's got like a superpower. But he's just a kid. You had my curiosity.
Yeah, that looks fucking great, right?
Oh yeah.
Look, it's kind of giving me some fucking Shamalama
Yeah,
Ding
dude,
Dong
that's what I was
vibes,
thinking.
you know? Yeah.
I mean, it looks like an interesting take on the telepath story.
Yeah.
And it may be promising because it's a foreign.
Yeah, right. It'll definitely be interesting and unique, you know?
All right, here's the David Lynch teaser.
It's got Brad Pitt in it.
Dude, it's just a teaser.
Okay.
Like,
Let's
he's like,
I'm
I'm gonna
ready.
make the shortest trailer ever, you know?
Yeah.
Like he edited this trailer himself. Like
Umbrellas.
40 seconds. All right.
All right, ready.
3, 2, 1, play.
Uh-huh. Tranquility.
So I looked up the synopsis.
Yeah.
I think there's like 4 or 5 assassins, and they're all on this train, and they all start to realize that all of their missions are connected.
Yeah.
Maybe they're there. The same person sent them, or
Yeah.
I was like, boy, they didn't give nothing away.
Yeah, for real,
Like,
right?
it's a commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Uma.
And it's not that one.
Damn
Just like the other movie, it's not what you think.
it. Let's do it, man.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, it means mother. Mother.
Yeah. She was on like ER or something.
Yeah.
I remember her being in the hospital. She was
Grey's Anatomy.
I bet that's it.
Uh-oh. What?
Why are the subtitles so close together? It's like A Better Mother. Remember the Mother movie they made?
What's in the box?
Oh. You will live the sins of your father. Oh, shit. Be an interesting take on that kind of.
Yeah. A mother's love never dies. Okay.
I mean,
Ever.
did y'all see that movie, Mother? Was it Mother or Mama?
It was Mama.
Whoa, that bitch coming down that hallway, dude. Like
Yeah.
doing the skitty pats, like
This
glitching.
Skitty pop pop, you know?
When I saw that shit, I was like, that is unsettling, you know?
Yeah,
Like you
right.
want to look down the hallway for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
I haven't
Alright,
seen any of these movies, and I'm surprised that. Oh, I was the second. Travis like they got to be more than just two of them, right?
Yeah. I think this is the third, right?
Oh, this is the one they
believe
kicked
so.
Johnny Depp out of.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah. Is Eddie Redmayne still in him?
I think so. I don't think he's made it in the wheelchair yet. That was a deep dig. That was deep.
But you
All right.
struck gold, man.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Mads Mikkelsen. Fucking Dumbledore, dude. Dumbledore. kind of figured he's gonna be that way. It's like the Kingsman and Harry Potter had a baby.
Yeah.
I wish we quit dancing around the bush and someone just cast Eddie Redmayne as the next Doctor already.
Yeah.
Is that fucking the Flash?
Looks like it,
It
right?
is him. He looks like a bad guy though. What was that house called? Oh, Drago was one. I don't remember the bad guy house.
Yeah.
I think I've missed too much to just pick up with that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen any of them, so I don't know. I don't know, man.
Final
Mobius trailer?
final trailer.
Morbius?
Look who
I'm ready.
Heavy spoilers is a top comment.
Yeah.
His comment.
Paul from Heavy Spoilers.
Sorry.
What's his fucking name on Twitter? Something spoiler, like he's worked spoiler into a. Oh, I can't
Oh, no, I
remember.
don't think I follow him. I need to.
I'll look it up while we do. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play.
The Batman.
I mean, technically, he is a Batman.
Yeah.
Black Ops CIA Biolab Research Station number 1. I was trying to write the most metal record ever, but my Pro Tools crashed.
He could probably make a good crow.
Have you seen how he plays the
Yeah.
bass? And
Hopefully, he gets more screen time in this than he did in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, right.
like the way they worded that.
Yeah.
Marvel Legend arrives. Marvel
It's
Legend.
not. It is not a part of the MCU. We have backtracked on our statements.
All right, Boone. Is this guy
Boone County?
no has this got fucking John McClane in it? Bruce Willis? It sounds like a Bruce Willis movie. Boone.
I don't think he's in it, but it looks like a Bruce Willis movie.
Oh, okay. All right.
Boom! Here comes the boom! Ready or not?
They couldn't afford
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
do it.
3, 2, 1, play.
Oh shit, Adam! Anyway. Axe in the stump. Work to be done. Oh god, it's Chibs. He robbed the jacks before he went fishing. Not with him around.
I think that's supposed to be an M, not an N. Boom.
Okay.
It's done.
Kind of weird seeing that dude in that kind of role.
Yeah.
That dude
right.
doesn't. That fucker doesn't age.
No, dude. Nope. It doesn't have to. He's found the seat.
You ask him, we're like, dude, why don't you age? He goes, I have been online for. And he starts giving like an automated response.
All right. This next movie's about Adam.
Well, we saw the Super Bowl trailer of this, and now they've released a full act.
A full blown.
Yeah.
A closer look at the Adam Project.
So this is he was talking about in that article earlier, but the guys they did Free Guy. They did
Yeah.
this movie.
Okay.
So it's kind of, out there.
Silly goose.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. I can't wait to see it.
The days Tom Sawyer gets high on you. The spacey invasion is bound. You know?
Whoa. Smart kid. Oh shit. Oh, more than a feeling here. Space cops. kill the kid. He probably created time travel so he could go back and save the kid from dying. It's called the Adam Project. Or the kid didn't know. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, March the 11th, man. Next
Next week.
Friday.
Drops on. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're
So,
gonna watch on the 8th.
I mean, there's been some stuff pop up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could always watch Tropic Thunder again.
I mean, don't tease me.
I
You
mean,
know? Shit, I'll watch it right
that
now.
could be the only movie we ever do a real estate revisit. It's always just Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, I haven't seen it this year.
Yeah, right. What's available? What's new?
I mean, Scream's out there, Licorice Pizza, Project Gemini, Gasoline Alley, movie about Russia.
Project Gemini.
Isn't it the
Watch
Will
the trailer
Smith?
for that? Nah, this is a new. We
Oh,
watched
that's
the
Gemini
trailer. It was
Man.
that space,
Oh yeah, I remember
you
that.
know, kind of.
I mean, I'm always down for some sci-fi, but
That Gold movie's out. Was it called Gold? Remember the one where
Was
the
it?
dude
with
was in the desert and he was fucking.
Zac Efron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's watch
it's
that.
out.
Yeah, I'm down.
That it
That
is.
was a crazy ass
Yeah,
trailer.
the trailer looked good. I
Starring
haven't
Zac
watched it. I've been
Efron.
padlocked on it. I've had it for several weeks now.
Written and directed by Anthony Hayes, who has done. I mean, he did a something in 2002 called New Skin. Looks like it's a short. Then he did another short. Then he did 10 Empty, which is a disillusioned son's trip home is complicated when 10 years of family secrets explode over one weekend. Drama, you know?
He can't even.
Did a movie called, or he's working on a movie called Stingray. It's got Joel Egerton and Anthony Hayes himself in it. Huh. I'm down to watch it, man. It's got fucking Efron in it, dude.
Oh, yeah, the trailer looked good.
Yeah.
Looked like a psychological thriller.
Yeah. I'm bad at it, you know?
Oh yeah. And it's just called Gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Gold it is next week.
Yeah, boy.